Joining us now is two-time Pro Bowler Peanut Tillman, who played in Carolina last season. Peanut, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
What's the biggest reason for Carolina's 1-5 start?
Can I say my Panthers? Because you say your Cowboys.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to ask you what you think of my Cowboys. They are mine.
Tell the truth, Peanut.
Your Cowboys are doing pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. How about your Panthers?
My Panthers, they're not doing as good as your Cowboys.
Thank you.
Would they do better if they re-sign Peanut?
No. You know what? The hardest thing to do is I think they have to find their identity. You know, last year we had an identity with all the success we had, and going to the Super Bowl, I think there's this assumption that you're gonna have the same amount of success, and you got a target on your back once you make it to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And right now they got that target, and it's harder, if not harder, to make it back to the Super Bowl once you've been there before. And I think this year they just haven't found their identity. You know, they're probably still going off of last year's success. Because they're a great team, great coaches, great culture, great locker room, great people. And for the most part, a lot of the same players are still there, minus, 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the majority of the team, they're
the key guys.
The key guys, the nucleus, it's still there. I think they just got to refine that identity.
So how much should the reigning MVP be held responsible for 1-5?
I don't think it's all his fault. It's a team
at all.
Yeah, I think it's blame to go around, But I don't think you can solely blame it on Cam Newton. I think that's unfair because he didn't win the MVP by himself, right?
He probably got a lot of credit for winning it by himself.
No, yeah. I don't care who you are as an MVP, MJ, Tom Brady, whoever. They're not going to say, oh, yeah, I got this award. I did it all by myself. No.
Well, MJ might have, but that's okay.
I think, no, man, it's collectively, he got that award because of what the team
success they had.
Yeah, the team success helped him and propelled him to get that award.
A lot of it goes to the defense. They're averaging giving up 10 more points a game. In 2015, they were 6th in scoring, the 29th now. Total D, they're 22nd. They were 6th last year. Takeaways, they were 1st. Now they're tied for 13th. What could happen? Cam played exceptional. So they were always, the majority of the time, you guys were playing with the lead.
Right.
Now that they're struggling on offense a little bit, the defense can't bail them out like they could last year. And see, when you don't get bailed out, you start looking like what they're looking right now. That would have been unheard of, and I think they gave up what? You guys gave up 30-plus points maybe twice last year, New Orleans and to the Giants.
Yeah.
When Cam left the field against New Orleans, at worst-case scenario, they were tied.
Yep.
And by the time he got back on the field with 8-9 seconds to go, they were down by 3. So the defense has to play better, and I agree with you. K'Wan Short picked the wrong time to have an off year. He should have had last year this year because he's in a contract year and he looks nothing like himself. He doesn't look like the disruptive force that he was last year that must be accounted for. And that's forcing because he's not being as dominant. People are able to get up on Kinkley and Davis a little freer and it's pushing them back and they're making their plays, but instead of Kinkley making a lot of his plays in the backfield, now they're 3-4 yard gains.
Yeah.
So that defense is going to have to pick it up. Now, this doesn't absolve Cam in that offense, but their offensive line is worse than what it was last year. Michael Orr hasn't played since he had that concussion. He's not playing particularly well. And Cam's turning the football over. And you can't do that. And it's hard. That's why there's only so few teams that's ever repeated Super Bowls. Because you're getting everybody's best, but you also got to realize what you did last year will have no bearing on this year. So now you got to come in with a total mindset. It's not about defending. They couldn't take Super Bowl 32 from us. That was ours. Now we're trying to go capture 33. Yeah. And so that's the toughest thing. And even fewer teams make it to the Super Bowl and lose and get back. That's almost just unthought of.
There's like an assumption. I know when we went in Chicago, I remember Brian Urlacher saying in the huddle, hey, don't worry, we're going to be back. We're going to be back. And then 2007 was like one of our worst years.
Right.
It's the same exact thing. We were focused on last year's success, and we didn't come out in 2007 and try to recreate our new success or find our new identity. And it's kind of like the same thing in what I'm seeing in Charlotte right now.
I'm with both of you. I got a big picture take on this and a small picture takeaway, and you'll be surprised at my smaller picture. But
Okay.
big picture, Super Bowl hangover is real. It's tangible. It can be devastating because, as you both know, the build-up to this game is massive, especially the first time you experience it. You had gone through it with the Bears, obviously. But a lot of your teammates last year had not experienced it before, starting with that quarterback. The letdown of losing a game the way you lost it can be just as massive and just as devastating as it can be on a positive side. And I see that where it looks like this team's playing on its heels all year, like it's not sure what happened, like it never quite recovered from losing that game, because you rolled into that game as hot as you could roll into it, right?
Right.
You blew people off the field all year long. You came real close. You could have been undefeated last year. That's how great you were. In the playoffs, it was just like, get out of our way, right? It was embarrassing what you did to Arizona, right? And so you get there, the bottom falls out thanks to Von Miller, and then you have to sit all offseason watching Von Miller in every commercial on TV. I think he's in every commercial now, seriously. Von Miller, I've never
And
seen.
Dancing with the Stars.
Well,
Yeah. I'm tired of
Dancing
saying
with the
Von
Stars.
Miller. Is it too
I
late to
know,
say it that
I
I'm
know.
sorry? Yeah.
I got it, and it's a
You don't
good
like that?
commercial.
You don't like that?
I don't know.
Those dances?
I wish you were a Carolina Panther doing that.
Well,
I'd have a
exactly.
different ring.
All right, so now down to the smaller picture. The truth is, they miss you and they miss Josh Norman. They do. I mean, that's it. I'm going to boil it down to those two positions. You were sort of at the end of the line, but you could still play because you could play with your head as well as your legs. And Josh, for all the talk about he's not that fast, he's not this or he's not that, he has presence to him. People look at him as a star. He can talk as good a game as he can play. And when he starts talking, you feel like you got him on your side, like he's going to disrupt the other team somehow, the way Shannon Sharpe could disrupt the other team's defense. And in this case, they just missed the star power of Josh. Like, God, we could have had him, but then they drew the line, and now he's in Washington. Washington's won 4 straight games. I'm not saying it's because of Josh Norman, but the Washington defense is playing. There's a stat that they've gone 21 straight opponents' possessions without allowing a touchdown. Well, I guess Josh might have a little something to do with that, or at least his presence on the defense. And without 2 quality corners, when you throw those kids in there, I'm not saying they can't play. They're just kids, and you're asking for it, right?
It's a process. I think it's just growing pains, and it's something that they have to do. We've all been rookies.
Yeah.
You know, you made those dumb rookie mistakes, and this is something that you have to go through and learn from.
Yeah.
The great players, Skip, what they do, they believe they're great.
Oh yeah.
Josh might not be of Deion Sanders' ilk.
Nope.
But he believes he is.
Yeah.
And that's part of the battle.
You believe that he really does believe it,
He
right?
absolutely
I
does
do
it.
too.
I was the same way. You gotta be. I'm the cockiest guy on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm the prettiest. I'm the fastest.
You better be.
I'm the most aggressive. I'm the strongest. And how many touchdowns I gave up? None. I had short memory. Like that was the thought process I had.
And that's something that you have to go through. And a young guy, it's hard for him to give up a touchdown and to let it go. It's like a young player on offense. He makes you've seen guys fumble once and then they're down on the sideline. And the veterans, man, pick your head up. You're gonna make a play for us. It's hard for young guys to let mistakes go. And what Ben Wicke, the DB that he ended up cutting, is that he could not let that Julio Jones. He couldn't let it go.
Right.
And it's hard to let that go. I mean, 300. Yeah. 300, you know.
And I've been in that situation before. You've given up one play, and our coach used to always say, pick your head up, and if you let one go, or if you let one get away, it'll lead to 2.
Right.
2 will lead to 3. 3 gonna get your butt cut.
Right.
So you gotta mentally, you gotta be mentally tough. The ability to be at your best on command.
And that's the thing. When I saw a guy was struggling, Rob hit a guy up, then Eddie would come back. I walk by him. You terrible. You about to get cut. You are awful. I don't even know. Get him out of here. I'm trying to plant that seed. I'm trying to put more doubt in your mind that you don't belong out here, because I want you to make another mistake.
Correct.
To try to make up for what's already been done, that you can't correct that. What's done is done. And so I'm trying to plant that seed. And Josh was a guy, no matter what you thought of him, he's a system, he's an area corner, but he supremely believes dude, I'm the most talented guy here. I know Luke Kuechly is the star of this defense, but I'm better than Luke. He believes that. And that's how you have to play that side. I mean, the great ones, that's what they believe. He sincerely believes that just by talking to him and looking at his body language, he believes he's the top dog.
I would agree. I would agree.
Last quick thought on Cam Newton. This is just me. Let me get this off my chest. I believe that social media can be the death of young quarterbacks. I think it really got to Robert Griffin III. Obviously, he suffered injury after injury.
Yeah.
But Robert let social media define him because he constantly reacted to its reaction, like he has to keep fighting back. Cam is falling into this trap of letting social media define him because he keeps responding. I'm going to show you. I'm going to post this picture. Post the picture just this week of looking in the. No, I'm not going to look in the rearview mirror. I'm going to look straight ahead through the windshield. He's sitting in the driver's seat, and after a while, you have to just ignore it. Don't try to respond. Don't try to tell everybody, no, I'm not looking in the rearview mirror. I'm looking ahead. It's.
If you have to tell us you're looking in the rearview.
That's correct. That's what I'm trying to say. Just ignore it and go on and be Cam Newton because he's being too reactionary to the criticism I know he's reading on a daily basis on the internet, on whichever social media he's on.
And that's the biggest lie. Well, I don't watch TV. I don't read articles. You read and you hear. And if you don't, there's someone really, really close to you. Did you hear what they said? Did you see what it was written? That information gets back to you. And it's, look, and I'm glad I didn't play. They had no social media because it would have got me in trouble because I'm worried about, I'm provoking the other players. I'm not worried about what somebody's saying, the fans are saying. I'm provoking the other players. But you can get caught up because now the young guys are thinking about building a brand. It's all about the brand. I didn't even know what a brand was. The only brand I was concerned about, Peanut, was the brand of football I was playing.
Right.
Now, if any endorsements came along that wasn't going to interfere with that brand of football I was playing, I would entertain it. But me, it was all about football, and then whatever happened. But now these guys, they want to be, they want to be pitchmen, and they don't understand. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady became great pitchmen after long-term success. You didn't see Peyton doing all these commercials in the first 5 or 6 years of his career. You didn't see Brady doing all these commercials the first 5 or 6 years. Drew Brees.
Right.
But after they had sustained excellence, then they started worrying about a brand. Guys come in the league worrying about a brand when they've accomplished nothing.
I call that the trophy kids. They just want a trophy just for getting in the league. I made it. All right, where's my brand? Where's my brand on my coffee cup?
These young kids.
I got like followers. I got like 1 million Twitter followers. I got like 2 million fake. Dude, that don't do nothing. That don't help you win games.
Right.